the random air show that we got to watch.
Oh, yeah.
For 40 minutes in
Yeah.
traffic.
Mm-hmm.
This guy just dive bombing his plane through. I'm just gonna whap this as much as possible while we record. On this episode of Doing the Most, we are tasting through some Texas Meads.
Homemade brews and various RTs, everything from mead to roast, bake creation, fermentation, inebriation, doing the most.
So I figured we would start with honey.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Traditional-esque in a can.
Traditional-esque. We went to Texas Mead Fest.
Yeah.
What was your bead on Texas Mead Fest?
It was fun.
Yeah, had a good time.
Yeah. I mean, it was on a farm, which was kind of cool.
We drank 16 meads in an hour.
We did. Had to get some lunch after that.
It's a good time.
In LaGrange.
Good old LaGrange. There's not a lot to do in LaGrange, Texas, we learned. And in the meadery we were at Rohan Meadery, which produced this bottle here, was like even further outside of LaGrange. Mm-hmm. So it was a rustic experience. Chickens. There were guineas. Mm-hmm. Not to be confused with chickens. They had grapevines growing. It was like a whole farm situation. We got a talking to about how if you go through a fence, you have to make sure to close the gate behind you.
Can't let anything out.
So we tried a lot of meads.
Yeah.
A lot of still mead, and we gravitated toward the carbonated stuff. And these are the two meaderies I think that we would both consider our favorites.
I think so, probably.
There was one more that we liked called Hye,
Mm-hmm.
H-Y-E. Apparently some kind of commune where everybody makes booze.
Which is really cool.
So we're going to try and visit that sometime next year.
And it was just west of Austin, right?
Yeah.
Is that where it was located?
I think he said about an hour outside of Austin. So. And they were making sizers, so that's apple juice-based meads. I don't think we'll go again.
Probably not. I mean, I enjoyed it and it was fun. It was with traffic. It took us like over 8 hours to get down there.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a fun experience to really try out all those different vendors, but it was not, I think, so like moving that I need to make it a part of my yearly experience. But I would definitely recommend everybody go at least once and check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
We gravitated toward Meridian, I think, first because of the cool branding.
If you go to their website, I think it's meridianhive.com.
Yep.
Yeah, meridianhive.com.
Nailed it.
If you go to their website, they have a map of basically like where you can buy their products.
So this is, before I set this down, 6.5% alcohol.
Which is, I mean, that's a good, healthy
sessionable
amount without being...
I definitely poured a heavier pour in my glass.
Yeah, that's okay.
Selfishly. So we tried this on tap while we were there, and I feel like that had quite a bit more effervescence.
It definitely did.
Seems like something was lost in the canning process, potentially. It's beautiful.
It's got a great color.
Mm-hmm. Water, orange blossom, honey, yeast, and potassium metabisulfite for freshness.
So it's a pretty straightforward, kind of like, I don't want to say no frills because that kind of makes it sound cheapened, but it's a very drinkable, very good product.
Not bad. Interesting. When we went down there, one of our goals was to bring back some kind of canned mead.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to say we have at least 4 different things that we're going to be able to try over the next few weeks.
Yep.
And
what did you pull out for number 2 here?
One of which is the peach.
Okay.
This is Meridian Hive's peach mead. It is 6.5% alcohol also. This is Rohan Meadery's peach mead. We decided for this tasting we would compare the two.
Sure.
So,
which they are going to be wildly different.
So they used a peach concentrate, ginger, and honey. So peach concentrate and ginger. We talked to a woman from Rohan, and she was telling us that they actually make their peach mead from the peaches they grow on the farm, which are white flesh peaches. And what I thought was interesting, this is not how I would ever do this, and nor did I when I made my peach mead, but she fermented it on the skins.
Yeah.
So she did not skin her peaches, which I thought was really interesting.
Let me see if I can get a little bit more fizz out of it.
A little bit darker than the traditional.
There you go. There's a little bit more.
So you just gotta give it a heavy-handed pour.
Yeah, but I mean, it's there.
It's got a nice beery look to it.
It does.
Looks like an ale you'd pour off tap. I don't remember this being this good. Did we try this down there?
I think I drank one.
This is good.
It should be told also, we both got sick while we were there.
Yeah.
Like with like a cold or something. So
Picked up some kind of big Tex bug
yeah.
that
Thanks, LaGrange.
kicked my pretty much the next week.
So our taste buds might have been a little off the night that we were actually testing these out down there. So
This is very good. It drinks like a peach cider. There's no honey flavor though.
not really. I mean, if there is, I can't tell if I'm picking anything up because of what we just drank or
Right.
if it's a part of this, but it's really good. It tastes great.
Yeah, it tastes like a peach.
Yeah.
Almost like a peach soda. I think we should rinse these glasses before we
I think so.
move on to the next
Sure.
one. Curious about this one. And also shout out to Rohan. They did not have bottles of this ready. So I had to get a growler and they comped the growler. So
It's awesome.
appreciate y'all. Also recyclable. That was really underwhelming. I was really expecting something to pop out of it. It's very heavy.
There's an immediate color difference for sure.
It's a lot lighter, yeah. It smells like peach pits.
Yeah, it does.
It is much different.
Yeah, it's wildly different. This is very complex compared to the canned meads that we've tried tonight.
I shouldn't have taken such a big swig of that.
We got plenty left. So,
Punched me in the face.
yeah. The peach flavor is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
100% different. Which it could come down. I mean, I realize that the cans are using concentrate, so I'm guessing that they're not using a very specific peach.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how. I'm not a connoisseur of peach concentrates, but
Yeah.
it makes sense to me that it's probably either a blend or
Yeah, whatever
you know,
they can get.
Right. So that
Yeah.
could be some of it.
This is so much more complex. It starts off like taking a bite into a peach and you get that kind of fuzziness and you kind of move through the acid and then the tannin kind of hits you like a brick wall and then you taste all those peach pitty notes. It's literally like biting into and chewing on a peach.
Yeah.
And then as you exhale, it's all honey, which is really interesting. This is my favorite thing that I tasted while we were down there. And while I'm like my palate is not remembering this flavor, I still really like it. I think I was like, I might have been like tipsy in love with this when I bought it because it was a quick afternoon. So we've been kind. We've talked about all the things that we loved. You go on YouTube and you look at these videos of people who have gone to mead festivals and mead cons, and it's all glowing praise. It's like, I bought my tickets for next year. Everything was amazing. I love honey so much. Let's save the bees.
Not everything was amazing.
Let's talk about, just in brief, let's talk about some of the negative aspects of what we
Okay.
experienced.
Without giving away.
We won't name names.
No.
But there was some garbo down there. There was some unpalatable swill.
I'll start it out.
Okay.
I tried a Bochet, which that's all I'm gonna get into.
Uh-huh.
And it was just not good. It was very, very hot while we were there, and we tried this later in our experience. So maybe it got overheated, maybe something happened while they were transporting it, but I kind of doubt it. It kind of tasted like tar.
It tasted like old plywood.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was real. It didn't have any of those like toasty caramel kind of toffee notes that you expect.
Absolutely not.
There's no sweetness on the back of it. It was weird. That Bochet in particular was bad. There was another purveyor that had some kind of more tropical fruit flavored beverages that they were jet fuel.
Yeah, they were very acidic.
They were hot. They were fusel. They were tart. That was a weird experience.
You kind of want to assume that something's going on, like they got too hot on the way there,
Yeah.
or something went wrong. But that
There was like a solar
specifically-
flare that came through. and
something. But it was pretty hard to drink.
That was awful. There was a couple of gentlemen that had some meads that were made with berry purees that were incredibly acidic.
Which was not so offensive to me. You had a bigger problem with it.
It just needed some sweetness.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, the pH was, sorry, I'm like doing mental math, but low pH means more acid, high pH means more base, right?
I think so.
It was low. The acid was so low that it felt high.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
And he warned us.
He did.
I will give him that. He was like, these are very tart, but it felt unbalanced. Overall, the experience was pleasant. Most of the stuff we tried was okay. It's just these were the real standouts. But I think High Meadery was really stellar too, because they just had some really interesting flavor stuff.
All right, so given that we've gone over positive and negatives, let's just quickly go through. What do you think your top threes were from our trip?
Top three. I will say that number one, there's an ant.
Oh, that's good. You want ants in the house. It is snowing outside, so
Yeah.
they're just
When it is cold, you have a lot of ant roommates. So the top three for me would probably be the Rohan Peach, the honey from Meridian, and then I think the hop flower from High Meadery, because it was a hop flower sizer, and it was just, the flavor profile was very unique in like a white wine kind of way, but a non-traditional white wine, a very off the beaten path kind of, and it was initially very shocking to the palate, but once I started kind of like taking it a little slower, it was like, oh wow, this is a very complex product, very complex mead. What are your top threes?
I'm gonna have to go with the honey.
Okay.
For my number one, and that's just because it's simple, it's straightforward. I mean, if you've never had a mead before, you could drink that and think, wow, mead's pretty good, and I have a lot of respect for that. My number two would probably be the more spiced flavors that we had from Rohan.
Yeah, the orange spice.
Orange spice. Different people have different reactions to different spices. You're a little bit more susceptible to clove.
I'm very sensitive to clove, yeah.
I'm not so much. I like clove quite a bit. I use it a lot in cooking. I thought it was excellent. And then third would probably be the bay leaf that we tried from...
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. The bay leaf, I think, from High. is probably what I would consider best of show. Not necessarily because it was the best mead that we had, but it was really, really good. And it did it in such a different, unique, and like completely different thought process kind of way to all the other things we tasted. And so I really value that kind of exceptional level of thinking on how to take kind of a standard set of products, apple juice and honey, and turn it into something completely unique.
I will say this just because a lot of you probably have friends that don't even know what mead is. Meridian has a website, meridianhive.com, I think.
Yep.
I mean, Google them. They will deliver if your state can accept mead or wine or alcohol in general.
Yep.
I would suggest picking up a little 4-pack of the honey. I think don't quote me on this. I think it's $10 plus a little bit for shipping.
Yeah, we paid $10 for a 4-pack.
Yeah, for a 4-pack. It's a really great introduction to mead, and I don't know that I would drink it out of the can. We didn't. I don't think we tried any of it out of the can.
Not while we were there, no.
But
actually, I take that back. We tried their lemon out of the can.
Okay.
Because they had opened one up for somebody else. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So get a 4-pack of that. Have your friends over. Let them try mead. It's simple, straightforward. It's pretty good.
Great stuff. Well, thank you for watching. You can follow us on Instagram and Pinterest at doingthemostokay, or check out our website, doingthemost.org. And like David said, we'll be back in a couple of weeks with another tasting video of some stuff from Meridian and possibly something else that makes its way through the kitchen. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.